see your lovely and fresh faces this morning. Thank you for coming and welcome to Kinderfield Highfield Final Championship 2024. Here, we are going to see the students compete in the Newscasting category. I am Ms. Nunik and I'm delighted to be your MC today. Thank you for gracing the occasion. We are pleased to welcome every participant and extend the warmest welcome to those who have traveled from a distance, Highfield, Cirebon. I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for your presence at this competition and hope that every participant will perform to their best. It's indeed a pleasure to have you all here. The judges for this category are Ms. Nova, Ms. Mega, and Ms. Lily. For parents and spectators, I would like to remind you to 1. Please switch your handphone into silent mode. 2. Keep your voice down and maintain the room's composure. 3. If you want to take a picture of your child, please do so in the provided space. 4. If you need to enter or leave the room, please wait for the participant to finish delivering the news. 5. Eating inside this room is prohibited. Before we start the competition, I'd like to remind you about the rules. Number 1, participants are allowed to bring a script for the competition. Number 2, the duration of performance is 3 to 4 minutes for lower secondary participants and 4 to 5 minutes for upper secondary participants, including opening and closings. Disobeying the duration will decrease the points. The participant should not make a mistake when performing because the duration will keep running and there is no compromise to start all over again. The themes are education or technology issues for lower secondary and poverty or health for upper secondary. Participants are not permitted to leave the location of the competition except when urgent condition. 5. Do not make the room condition noisy or crowded during the competition. 6. All participants should respect and appreciate every judgment from the judges. And then 7. The timekeeper will be ringing the bell with the following regulations. The timekeeper will ring the bell with the following regulations. Number 1, once ring of the bell, 1 minute warning. Twice ring of the bell, time's up. And before we start the competition, the participants' performance order will be determined using the wheel of names. And the committee has shuffled the order of participants' performance from lower secondary to upper secondary. Okay, we've got the order of names that will perform. Now let's begin the newscasting competition. Our first participant, please welcome Felicia Aquila from Duren Sawit Center.
Today's top story: climate change education, urgently needed. Children in Indonesia at high risk of the impact of climate change crisis. How can Indonesia transform education for better environment and society? Good morning. The truth is our priority. We give justice to your curiosity. The latest news spotted only here on Highfield News provides you incredible updates around the world. With me, Felicia Aquila Simbolon. For the first time, UNICEF ranks countries based on children's exposure and vulnerability to climate and environmental shocks, with Indonesian children among the world's most vulnerable. Children living in Indonesia are among those at high risk of the impact of climate change. 240 million children are highly exposed to coastal flooding. 600 million children are highly exposed to vector-borne diseases. And 1 billion children are highly exposed to high levels of air pollution. Without urgent and sustainable action, children will continue to suffer the most. Netherlands, a sustainable country, already implemented climate change education and socializing those kinds of global agendas of sustainability from a very young age. Research has shown that many Indonesians still misunderstood climate change. Non-profit organization Development Asia Consultant found that 88% of respondents from 16 to 60 years had heard of the climate change term, but only 44% of them could define it correctly and understand the environmental issues. It is indisputable that education contributes significantly to a long-term solution for climate change mitigation. To assess climate threats, develop innovative solutions, and implement them, we require knowledge, skills, and awareness from young people. Putting climate change at the heart of education, Indonesian Minister of Education, Mr. Nadiem Makarim, emphasizes in Merdeka curriculum to get every school climate ready. The Indonesian education system also doing very challenging projects on how to build a climate-friendly schools. Teachers will also be supported to deliver world-leading climate change education through a model science curriculum to teach Indonesian about nature and their impact on the world around them. Children and young people will also be encouraged to get involved in their natural world, setting out a vision to be taught about the importance of conserving and protecting our planet. Unlock your power, save our planet, and the children can survive. Education is the weapon to change minds, not the climate, and education is crucial to achieve the dramatic transformation that is needed. That was the news of truth and accuracy from Highfield Duransawa team. Hoping everyone is in good condition and to have a great day ahead. This is Highfield News. I'm Felicia Akela Simbolon, signing out.
Thank you, Felicia. Please now welcome the second participants, Benedicta, Lakinzi, Phoebe, Valerie from Duransawi.
Do you want to turn the front or white first?
Good morning and welcome back to Breaking News. Today is Saturday, 3rd of February 2024. I'm Valerie here, and join us as we navigate through the headlines, providing you with the latest updates and insights from all around the world. Here are the headlines for today. IT company Ivanti has just recently discovered 2 zero-day vulnerabilities with the help of Mandiant and Volexity, which have unfortunately been exploited, which caused a massive amount of devices already being compromised. Just 2 weeks ago, on 10th of January 2024, US IT software company Ivanti has just disclosed 2 zero-day vulnerabilities, which are CVE 2023-46805, an authentication bypass vulnerability, and CVE 2024-21887, a command injection vulnerability. It affected 2 of Ivanti's products, the first being Ivanti Connect Secure VPN, and the second being Ivanti Policy Secure or PS appliances. To briefly explain, zero-day or zero-hour exploits are an exploit or security hole which is unknown to their owners. There are no patches currently, and Ivanti had to work together with Mandiant and Volexity in order to investigate the origins as well as the patches to fix it. They speculate that the actor behind these compromises is a Chinese organization, or called UTA0178, which also exploited zero-day vulnerabilities back in December 2023. Ivanti has released mitigations to reduce the damages, and it is said that fewer than 10 customers were impacted by these exploitations, but sadly it has reached up to 1,700 devices. We hope that patches will most likely be released on January 22nd ahead, and hopefully exploitations like this would not occur once more in the future, Ivanti says. Moving on to the next news, researchers from the cybersecurity departments have just discovered a new malware attack campaign which affected Apeg Hadoop and Flink, two technologies used for processing big data sets and data streams. On January 11, the attackers launched the attack using exploitations to input rootkits into both systems. However, due to massive exploitation of misconfigurations in both technologies, they were able to input not only rootkits, but crypto miners as well, which results in the cryptojacking of both technologies. Currently, the attackers are still unknown and the amount of damages are still being investigated. However, further results would be revealed in the near future. On to the next headline, more than 100 deepfake AI videos impersonating Rishi Sunak, UK Prime Minister, have been advertised on Facebook. These videos were paid with a total amount of more than £12,929 with a total of 143 adverts originating from 23 countries. These countries including the Malaysia, United States, the Philippines, as well as Turkey. These adverts have reached more or less 400,000 people, and it became one of the first times a prime minister's image has been falsified in a systematic way worldwide. An advert regarding a false statement of Rishi Sunak, which states how he is paying back £1,000 for those who invest £250, as well as a fake BBC News broadcast, which has glimpses of scam adverts included. The government fears that with the advent of cheap, easy-to-use voice and face cloning, it takes very little knowledge and expertise to use a person's popularity in order to do it for malicious purposes. The government also is working extensively to prevent any democratic threats, even threats to the UK elections. The government also advises people to be cautious of information online and make sure that they're from a reliable source and do not get fooled with hoax. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breaking News. Until next time, stay informed, take care, have a fantastic day. This is Valerie signing out.
Thank you very for your attendance. Now, please welcome the next participants. Participant number 3, Kenzo Deva Praditya from Highfield, Cirebon.
Viewers, it's Saturday, February 3rd, 2024. I'm your host for today's morning, Kenzo Teba, keeping you updated. Mali, the 8th largest country in Africa, acclaimed for its Timbuktu and traditional Barbie music, is undergoing poor and substandard education as of these years and potentially coming ahead. More than roughly half the population of the Western African country is illiterate in between the age grade 15 to 24 age adults in Mali. Notwithstanding Mali's success economically in terms of mining and the production of agricultural commodities, livestock, and fishes, its poor education resulted from a lack of infrastructure, poor teacher training, learner absenteeism, and more. According to macro trends, Mali experienced a radical decline in the literacy rate, comprising 4.71% in 2018 and reported at 30.76% in 2020. The political crisis in Mali is also taken into account as a considerable influence on Mali's poor education. The multi-dimensional political crisis commenced in 2012 as armed groups unobtrusively pillaged school necessities and ravaged at least 115 schools in the north of Mali. Around 200,000 children were unable to pursue education at schools due to the motive of the extremist group. When a teacher is afraid to teach, and when a student is afraid to go to school, the whole education is at risk, said UNICEF representative in Mali, Francois Ackermans. Although plenty of children do have access to school learning, there are still challenges facing the education system in Mali, such as a lack of reputable teachers, unqualified textbooks and learning medias, and a low-quality learning environment. According to UNICEF, most of the students in the 5th grade have not excelled in basic mathematics and reading skills. The government of Mali is deriving many reports of the group's decision to prioritize advanced teacher recruitment and training and increase financing for education to at least 20% of its budget. Although the education system in Mali might not seem at the utmost, education is slowly improving with the government of Mali's intervention, as well as the Ministry of National Education, Ministry of Vocational Training, UNICEF, and more. The northeastern part of Mali, known as the Gao region, is an instance where projects to improve the education system are being conducted, as over 200,000 teachers are in training, enrichment, and provision of learning materials for 8,500 students. Furthermore, UNICEF launched a partnership project with the government of Mali hand-to-hand, starting from improving the governance of schools by building the capacity of school management committees to coordinating agencies in the cluster system for humanitarian intervention in Mali. That is a wrap for today's news. Once again, I'm Kenzo Teba, Highfield News Center.
Thank you, Sandra, for your performance. Now please welcome the next participants, Sean Emerick Vijaya from Bogor Center.
Check it first. Oh, then is it too far? No. No? Okay. No.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Highfield News, and I'm your anchor today, Sean Vijaya. How's everybody doing today? Wish you a great morning and a great day ahead. Our top story today will look into the profound challenges of education inequality, shedding light on the contradictions that persist in our schools and impact the future of countless children. Education inequality remains a pressing concern, with a big gap in access to quality education among children from different socioeconomic backgrounds. A recent report reveals that children from low-income communities often face inadequate resources, outdated textbooks, and limited access to technology, slowing down their academic progress. Education advocates are calling for urgent reforms to bridge this gap and ensure that every child has the equal opportunity to succeed. Lack of education has a serious effect on everyone, not only on the one who is undereducated. It is estimated that there are 787 million children lacking the need of education. People who lack education most likely will have some trouble getting ahead in life, and most likely are poorer than the well-educated ones. Major effects of lack of education include poor health, lack of a voice, shorter lifespan, exploitation, unemployment, and gender inequality. Just like any other life problems, there is always a reason behind it. One of the main reasons behind is the fact that most children are living in poverty. Living in poverty means that people will not have enough money to provide their children or themselves to any education. Without being able to experience school, children will have little to no chance on getting any education. In communities dealing with poverty, access to basic educational resources becomes a daily struggle. Many children lack essential school supplies, adequate nutrition, and a stable home environment conducive to learning. The impact of these challenges on academic performance is profound, highlighting the need for targeted interventions to ensure that every child has the foundational support necessary for educational success. Access to advanced courses remains a persistent challenge in the fight against education inequality. Children in underserved communities often lack access to privileged classes, advanced placement courses, and extracurricular programs that can significantly impact their college and career prospects. Education advocates emphasize the need for targeted initiatives to expand access to advanced educational opportunities for all children, regardless of their socioeconomic backgrounds. In conclusion, the challenges at the intersection of education and poverty demand a multifaceted approach. Policymakers, educators, and communities must work collaboratively to implement targeted interventions, bridge those gaps in resources, and break down the systemic barrier that persists that slow down the educational progress of those in poverty. Thank you for joining us on Highfield News, and we'll continue to follow development on this critical issue. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Now, please welcome the next participant, Putri Shura Ismalaisha from Airport Center.
world, and welcome to Shura Vision News. I'm Putri Shirais Maraisha from Highfield Depok, your host, and our top story for today is the rapid advancement in technology that is shaping our world in new and exciting ways. That's right, from artificial intelligence to virtual reality, the possibilities seem endless. One of the most talked about topics is the development of self-driving cars. These vehicles are equipped with advanced sensors and technology that allow them to operate and navigate without human intervention. These self-driving cars are now being sold to public. A few opinions towards this invention were given. One said, "I felt pretty safe while at it and pretty amazed by the technology. I was on my toe wondering at just how smart the car is." And having a close view at the forefront of technology governing the evolution of self-driving cars, I believe that our roads can be made much safer and lives can be saved with this development. In addition to transportation, technology is also transforming the healthcare industry. Medical professionals are utilizing robotic surgery techniques and wearable devices to monitor patients' health in real time. Another trending topic is the widespread adoption of renewable energy source and smart grid technology. These innovations are helping to reduce our carbon footprint to create a more sustainable future. Furthermore, the rise of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency is also making waves in the financial sector, changing the way we think about transaction and investments. Despite all these advancements, technology are also able to cause threat towards our community. With the development of AI technology, the possible threats happening include privacy concerns. AI systems often rely on large amount of personal data, raising concerns about how that data is collected, stored, and used. Following up with privacy concerns, AI systems can also create security risks. AI systems can be vulnerable to attack, potentially leading to malicious use of technology for purposes such as spreading misinformation or conducting cyber attacks. One significant threat of AI technology is the potential for misuse in mimicking people's voices or creating realistic photos, videos, or other media. This could lead to various of harmful scenarios, including identity theft and fraud, misinformation, or impersonation. AI-generated voices or images could be used to impersonate someone in order to manipulate others. They could also be used to create convincing fake news, propaganda, or other forms of misinformation, leading to confusion and manipulation of public's opinion. Addressing these threats require a combination of technical solution, ethical guidelines, and legal frameworks to regulate the creation and distribution of AI-generated content. It's essential to promote awareness of these risks and ensure responsible use of AI technology. With all these advancements, it's clear that the world is entering a new era of innovation and possibility. We look forward to seeing how these developments continue to shape our future. That's all for today's top story. Stay tuned for more news and updates right here on Shura Vision News. I'm Shura, and I'm signing off. Thank you.
Thank you, Shura. Dear audience, we would like to encourage you all to put your handphones into silent mode. Thank you. Coming up next, we have the participants from Cirebon Center, Nevin Oswald.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Navin Oswald, reporting live from Highfield News Center, bringing you the most updated information from around Indonesia. Today is February 3, 2024, and here is the headline for today. Indonesia's low literacy rate has affected education in the country. According to a survey done the program for the International Students Assessment, or PISA, Indonesia ranks 62nd out of 70 countries recording literacy levels. The results of PISA has also shown that 70% of Indonesian students have literacy skills that are far below average, and they also lack in confidence to contribute towards change. A report made by Youth of Indonesia also shows that only 30% of students pass or exceed the minimum competent level for reading, and 29% for mathematics. From this result, Indonesia is placed as the 6th lowest in the rankings compared to other 79 countries. The head of National Library, Muhammad Sharifando, highlights that the cause of the issue is that Indonesian citizens have always been viewed as a low-reading culture society. He also explained that since Indonesia is claimed to be a nation with a low-reading culture, its literacy index is highly effective. Seeing UNESCO's literacy standard of at least 3 new books for each person every year, Indonesia has not been able to reach or exceed it. Considering the ratio between the total books to Indonesian citizens is only 0.09, this shows that the yearly demand of a single book is made by only 90 people, putting Indonesia in the lowest ranking in the literacy index. In other Asian countries such as Korea, Japan, and China, they have an average of 20 new books for each person every year, which is a significant difference compared to Indonesia. This issue has become a tough obstacle for Indonesia to face. Government officials have been trying to find a solution to the issue. A solution offered by government officials is to publish books that are based on the local content, which includes considerations regarding the location of the publication and the potential readers. It is also predicted that by executing the plan, the ratio of limited books nationally will be reduced. And you have just heard the latest news from around Indonesia. Once again, I'm Nabil Nasrud, signing off.
Thank you. Please now welcome the next participants, Patrice Amadian from the Casting Center.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Patches, and welcome to Bekasi News. Today, we delve into a pressing issue that demands our attention and action: education issues in Africa. Access to quality education is a major obstacle for numerous African children, preventing their chances of success. Many African children lack access to a decent education, and even those who attend school face significant challenges in gaining a quality education. Schools in rural or remote areas are often far away, making it difficult for children, especially girls, to walk long distances while facing security risks. According to UNESCO, nearly half of African nations, less than 10% of primary school-aged children are not attending school, whereas the out-of-school rate surpasses 50% for upper secondary school education, and this trend is on the rise. A considerable challenge is that around 80% of children in sub-Saharan Africa are not receiving education in their native language at home, a factor that considerably impedes their learning outcomes. One prominent reason to this difficult access to education are many families are unable to afford school fees. In low-income areas, parents may have to choose between providing for their basic needs and their children's education. Moreover, education is influenced by both instability and conflict. When violence forces schools to close, students and teachers have to move, making it hard for children to learn and access educational opportunities. Furthermore, another factor that negatively impacts the quality of education is the shortage of qualified teachers. Due to the severe lack of teachers in many areas, those who are available may not have the necessary training and support needed. However, despite the challenges, South Africa has demonstrated remarkable advancements in broadening educational access and dealing with the unfairness from the apartheid era. Progress has been evident across all levels with notable improvements. Since the year 2000, there has been a 35% increase in the number of adults achieving secondary education, and enrollment in tertiary education has more than doubled. And that wraps up our broadcast on Bekasi News. Education is a powerful force for positive change as seen in South Africa's progress. Challenges remain, but staying informed is the key. Join us again tomorrow for more stories that matter. I'm Patris, signing off. Thank you and take care.
Thank you, Patrice. Dear audience, please welcome Chantal Water from Bogor Center.
Make yourself comfortable. Check first. Right? Check. Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to Highfield News. I'm Chantal, your presenter today. Today we bring you a special segment focused on the fascinating role of technology in the aspect of education. We're not only going to discuss the positive technology, we're also going to discuss about the negative impact of technology. Right now, we'll discover more about the technology and the impact to the aspect of education in both negative and positive ways. Technology is science developed by humans to create certain procedure and is more practical or makes life easier. Without technology, the world would not be as sophisticated and instantaneous as it is now. But even so, there are still negative things that happen, such as frauds, copyright violations, cybercrimes, and so on. With technology, students can access various kinds of information from various sources and devices such as cell phones, tablets, computers, laptops, and other things like that, so that it can make it easier for students to do assignments, projects, and other schoolworks. Not only for doing assignments, students can also learn more with various information from various websites, applications, and sources. Technology provides various kinds of convenience in any form, so that sometimes it can be misused by people. Because of freedom, increasing sophistication, and advances in technology, students can cheat too. Now there are various sites, websites, and applications that students can use to cheat, such as AI-like or artificial intelligence applications or websites. With the advent of advanced technology, students also become lazy about reading books and prefer to go to the internet. Not only that, students can also just copy and paste, so they don't train the student brains to work. The freedom and sophistication it provides to create opportunities for academic dishonesty. With students resorting to cheating through AI-like application, advanced technology has led to a decline in traditional reading habits, as students increasingly prefer internet sources. Additionally, the ease of copy and pasting information contributes to lack of cognitive engagement, hindering the development of critical thinking skills. This underscores the need for a balanced approach to technology in education that maximizes its benefits while addressing potential drawbacks. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of technology's impact on education, from the convenience of information access to the challenges of misuse and academic dishonesty. We've delved into the multifaceted aspects of this evolving landscape. As we navigate the intersection of technology and education, it becomes clear that the balanced approach is essential, harnessing its benefits while addressing potential drawbacks. I'm Chantal, and this is Highfield News. Have a great day.
Thank you, Chantal. Dear audience, please welcome Daiva Widyara Alexandra from Depok Center.
Hello, judges, and good morning.
Thank you. This side. Oh, this side is fine. I think it's okay. Make yourself comfortable. Check first. Test. Can I move it forward? Yes. Okay. May I start?
Data breaches have been occurring throughout Indonesia and have been a hot issue for many years. I am Daiva Widyara Alexandra, and you are listening to Highfield News. As our country has been rising exponentially, moving forward, bringing advanced technology for its better future, there have been multiple data spills. Precisely more than 21,000 companies experienced such problems since the year 2022. Hackers have become more lively since this recent development. This has caused serious damage towards a variety of sectors, such as finance, healthcare, e-commerce, and utilities, and has brought out cybersecurity challenges for Indonesia's business operations. With this leakage, the data collected could be used for illegal purposes. For instance, targeting innocent locals. As there will be a loss of privacy, this problem could lead to abuse of power and erosion of individual freedoms. Industries like Gojek, Shopee, Tokopedia, and others are known to be used by Indonesian citizens. People place private information towards these establishments, yet the chances for a person's password to be identified is high. Consequently, a person's privacy will be further exposed concerning their phone number, housing address, and even worse, their bank account details. With this occurrence, a civilian's confidential information could be turned into a business's advertisement, which will be widespread across social media platforms that leaves discomfort to society. The government aims to reach a balanced approach to solve this issue, which includes legal reforms, community vigilance, privacy-centric technologies, and other components. In conclusion, the government has forged the Personal Data Protection Law, stating that individuals whose data has been compromised have the right to take legal action against the data processor and seek compensation. But to shock, there have been recent breaches happening in 2023. Will this dilemma ever come to an end, or will it further continue? We will have to find out on the next news update. This is Highfield News. I am Daiva Widyara Alexandra, and good morning.
Thank you very much. With that is an audience, we are now moving to the upper secondary level. Please welcome the first performance from Maharani Putri Adisi from Duran Sawit Center.
Good morning, good people. It's a sunny Saturday morning on the 3rd of February 2024, and this is Dursau 88 News live from Highfield, Bekasi. I'm today's news anchor, Maharani Putri, bringing you the latest update from around the world. In our headline news, United Kingdom's failure to act on economic stagnation has caused over 14 million people to be expected to live in poverty in 2024. More than millions of people living in poverty, almost half of them are youngsters. Children who suffer from their poverty experience problems such as parents who can adequately feed them, clothe them, clean them, or keep them warm. The cases between 2022 and 2023 reveals the skyrocketing amount of people living in poverty, doubled the initial amount. Studies have revealed the rise in inequality in one of the world's richest economy has led to poverty. The latest evidence shows that slow economic growth has made it harder to tackle poverty, with the high living standards and high living costs becoming the major problem to the explosion of poverty issue. According to the new reports, the most disadvantaged people in UK are no better off than they were 15 years ago, setting them at the risk of sliding back into the Depression era, where social inequality and inflation were at its peak. Inflation had caused the working class to face brutal living conditions, with little access to clean water, nutritious food, and sanitation, as well as extremely little opportunity to improve their lives. With the ongoing inflation, government have tried to cut their expenditures and reduce taxes by 5%. Nevertheless, the attempt failed to turn the condition better, even though the reduction affected the city center and business areas. This other area with population that earns low income were barely affected. Even on the living costs, rent prices are still high, increasing homeless people and making it hard for unemployed people to survive. For the past decade, the global pandemic has led to further poverty issue problems. The economic condition and poverty issue has not healed. But not just poverty issue itself that is threatening. The condition sets many people to misery through the increase in crime rates, malnutrition, and increase in death rates. Up to 25% of children, especially teenagers with struggling parents, committed crimes such as robbery or stealing in order for them to survive and to fulfill their basic necessity. Seeing this condition has gotten worse, UK's government planned to prepare welfare benefits, adopting from other European countries, with the aim of slowly recovering poverty and achieve better economic condition. That concludes today's session at Dursao 88 News. This is Maharani Putri, wishing you a better, pleasant day, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Maharani. Please now welcome Skolastika Arelika Jati from Bekasi Center.
On June 5, 2023, a 16-year-old girl passed away in Salayang Hospital, Malaysia. The teenager was diagnosed to have passed away due to e-cigarette or vaping use-associated lung injury, also known as EFALI. Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa stated that investigation showed that the girl in question did not suffer from any pre-existing health conditions. However, she had a 3-year history of vaping prior to her death. Good morning, my name is Skolastika Arelika Jati, and you're watching Highfield News TV. The incident mentioned previously is just one of many cases of EVALI in teens. In another case, dated all the way back to January 9, 2020, was the death of a 15-year-old in Dallas, Texas, who was the youngest in a series of outbreaks caused by disease caused by vaping. No doubt proof of the dangers of e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes, or vapes, are devices that simulate tobacco smoking by using an electrically powered coil to heat the e-liquid solution inside, turning it into vapor, which is then inhaled. In recent years, there has been a rise in their popularity across the globe, especially among teenagers. The reasons for this vary, but most prominent is due to peer pressure from people in their school, home, or neighborhood environment. And thus, they subsequently try out vaping in order to fit in. Apart from that, they may also start vaping due to curiosity towards the different flavors of vaping liquid, ranging from fruits like apples and strawberries to desserts like vanilla custard. There is also the misconception that e-cigarettes are less harmful than traditional cigarettes. In the 2019 National Youth Tobacco Survey done in the United States, high school students were asked to report which tobacco products they think cause little to no harm when only used some days instead of every day. According to the survey, 28.2% said e-cigarettes compared to the 9.5% for normal cigarettes. This misconception is due to the fact that users are not exposed to tar or carbon monoxide, which are the most dangerous elements of tobacco smoke. But the truth is that vaping is still far from safe. Vaping, similar to smoking, has a multitude of its own negative side effects. The most prominent being that e-cigarettes contain high levels of nicotine, a highly addictive stimulant, which makes it easy for addiction to take root. This can lead to nicotine withdrawal symptoms should the victim stop regularly vaping, such as often feeling irritable and restless or having trouble sleeping and concentrating. This is especially true in adolescence, a period of crucial development for the brain, and it makes it easy for these addictions to be carried into adulthood. Furthermore, according to the American Lung Association, a 2018 study from the University of North Carolina found that the two primary ingredients found in e-cigarettes, propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin, are toxic to cells, and that the more ingredients in an e-liquid, the greater the toxicity. E-cigarettes produce a number of dangerous chemicals as well, including acetaldehyde, acrolein, and formaldehyde. These aldehydes can cause lung disease as well as cardiovascular heart disease. The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggests a few actions that parents can take to discourage their children from vaping, including discussing with the child exactly why vaping is harmful to prepare the child to resist peer pressure, trying to ensure that they're not exposed to secondhand tobacco smoke, and setting a good example by not using such products in the first place. That's all the news for today. For more information regarding this, visit our website at www.highfieldnewstv.com or contact our email at highfieldnewstv@gmail.com. My name is Scholastica Aradika Jati. Thank you for tuning in. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Scholastica. Dear audience, please welcome the next contestants, Putu Fatmadewi Kailasa from Depok Center.
Check. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Highfield Breaking News. Today we're delving to the latest global conditions with me, Putu Fatmadewi Kailasa. Rescuing of Rohingya refugees in Aceh leads to controversy between humanity and social jealousy. Since 14th of November 2023, Aceh has become the destination for 1,222 Rohingya refugees. Arriving in 7 waves by boat, they are known to have originated from Bangladesh. These individuals are escaping persecutions and violence in their home country, turning Aceh into the front line of an escalating humanitarian crisis. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, has closely monitored the situation. While commendable efforts are being made, challenges have emerged. The UNHCR notes that alongside the growing of refugee population, there are rising of social tension and jealousy. The Acehese people have raised questions about Indonesia, especially the Aceh provincial government's capacity to support the refugee, particularly given the high poverty levels in the region. According to the latest data from the Central Bureau of Statistics, 829,000 people in Aceh are living below the poverty line. This makes Aceh the poorest province in Sumatra, while it ranks 6th in the country. Local citizens are concerned that the limited budget allocated to the government should prioritize improving the welfare of its citizens before ensuring the welfare of the refugees. Mas Rizal, an Aceh citizen, voiced the sentiment of many. He questioned in an interview, why are Aceh, the poorest region in Sumatra, is helping other people when our people are still suffering? In response to these concerns, citizens are calling for more significant roles from the central government and international institutions, addressing the issue and prevent potential social frictions in the future. Acknowledging the gravity of the situation, Indonesian President Joko Widodo addressed the public in a recent press conference. He affirmed that Indonesia is committed to providing temporary humanitarian aid and shelter for the Rohingya refugees. all while prioritizing the interests of the local community. He announced plans to collaborate with international organizations and appealed for solidarity to manage the crisis effectively. In the latest development, the United Nations has pledged additional support to Indonesia in managing the Rohingya refugee crisis. The UNHCR announced a coordinated effort to provide financial aid, resources, and expertise to ensure the well-being of the refugees, as well as alleviate the strain on the local resources. Statistics reveal that the influx of Rohingya refugees has strained Aceh medical facilities with an increase of 30% in demand healthcare services in the past month. Moreover, international organizations such as the Red Cross and Medicine Sans Frontières or Doctors Without Borders are actively working to provide medical assistance and essential supplies. The World Food Programme has initiated a food distribution program to address the nutritional needs of both the refugees and the local populations. Aceh is currently facing the crisis while receiving international help from multiple organizations to support both the refugees and the local communities. As this situation unfolds, we will continue to bring you updates on the controversy surrounding the rescue of Rohingya refugees in Aceh. Stay tuned to Highfield Secondary Breaking News for the latest developments on this pressing issue. I am Putu Padmadewi Kailasa, signing out, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for watching. We would like to next participants, please welcome Clarissa Sugihanto from the Gasi Center.
Greetings, rise and shine. It's me, Clarissa Sugihanto, bringing you the latest news from Highfield Skyline. Come along on our journey as we reveal the most recent news, discover ideas, and serve as your go-to resource in a world where knowledge is power. Beneath Mozambique's breathtaking scenery and dynamic culture is a harsh reality that forces us to face the critical issues that needs our attention and group effort: poverty. Come explore the hidden narrative, the resilient spirit, and the continuous effort to create a better future in the face of hardship. Welcome to a special report on Mozambique's poverty. Mozambique's poverty is a complex issue with roots in a range of historical, economic, and environmental factors. The country has faced many challenges since achieving its independence in 1975, including an extended civil war that lasted until 1992. Mozambique's post-war economy saw initial growth, but a number of problems prevented the country's path to stability. Between 1996-1997 and 2014 to 2015, the poverty rate decreased from 69.7% to 46.1%. But in the same time frame, the population grew by more than 50%. Meaning that a certain number of people continue to live in poverty. This continuous challenge is being caused by a decline in foreign direct investment, natural disaster, military attacks in the north and central areas, and the discovery of the hidden debts that have been paid by the government in 2013 to 2014. The effects from the release of the hidden debts involve a reduction in foreign aid, depreciation of the currency, increases in food prices, and a reduction in household consumption. The Ministry of Economy and Finance estimate that a number of Mozambicans living in extreme poverty increased by 55 to 60% from 2015 and 2019 to a total of 16.7 to 18.2 million people. Disconnected factors have produced a poverty cycle that is greatest in rural areas, where people have difficulty getting access to jobs, healthcare, education, and basic necessities. This situation highlights the importance of inclusive and persistent intervention to deal with the root causes of poverty and promote inclusive economic growth in Mozambique. Some effort have been made to solve this issue.
some global organizations are hand in hand helping the people of Mozambique to live out of poverty. Like first, the International Development Association, or IDA, is funding Mozambique Mais Oportunidades project, or Mozambique Access to Finance and Economy Opportunities project, which runs from 2023 to 2029. In addition, the World Bank recently approved a $300 million credit for the project. Together, Mozambique's self-reliance is also to be supported by the USAID's 2020 to 2025 plan. As we shed lights on the harsh reality of poverty in Mozambique, together, let's push for a long-term solution and show support for those fighting for a better tomorrow. And with that, we wrap up these editions of today's news. Our dedication to accurate and truthful reporting is supported by your belief in us. Wishing you an incredible day ahead, and until next time. This is Clarissa Sugianto signing out. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Clarissa. We're moving up to the next participants from Tribal Center, Angelina Vega Family.
Good morning, viewers. I am Angelina Mekachantri reporting live from Highfield News Center, delivering insights and updates from across Indonesia. Today is February 3rd, 2024, and here is the headline for today. Around 89% of the Indonesian population still lack access to quality education due to poverty. The latest report from the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, revealed. Unequal access to education remains one of the glaring issues that continues to plague the nation, as students in remote regions are still deprived of adequately trained teachers and up-to-date learning materials. This has led to the development of limited skills, bringing negative effects such as mental health risk on the individual and leaving economic implications, with data from the World Bank showing that people with higher educational attainment enjoy increased learning potential and enhanced employment opportunities. With this, the Indonesian Ministry of Education and Culture has since underscored the correlation between limited access to quality education and increased dropout rates, which prevents students from acquiring essential skills for meaningful future employment. The rise in school dropouts is further exacerbated by the economic constraints that families face, including direct costs such as school fees and expenses for uniform and transportation. These compel parents to stop sending their children to school in favor of the latter's early employment. In addition, the adverse consequences of teenage pregnancy has compounded the problem, with the United Nations Children's Emergency Fund, or UNICEF, identifying poverty as a factor for early marriages, as such unions are often perceived as strategies for economic survival. Another set of concerns the Indonesian educational system ought to address is the lack of qualified teachers, their uneven distribution across schools, and the student-teacher ratio. With students bearing the long-term consequences of poor education in terms of not only academic achievement but also future success, the impact of the educational crisis goes beyond the classroom. For the past 4 years, the number of educators in Indonesia has gone down by 6% annually as many enter retirement. Despite their skill and years of experience, honorary teaching staff in Indonesia's public schools do not reap the benefits, said Indonesia's Vice President Maruf Amin. Moreover, Indonesian students continue to perform lower than their counterparts from across the globe due to teachers who are not equipped with the skills that they are supposed to impart. The poor quality of Indonesian teachers remains the main reason behind Indonesia's poor education, the Organizations for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, reports. With Indonesia being the fourth most populous country in the world, managing economic development and reducing poverty poses significant challenges, as the current poverty rate is still higher than the pre-pandemic count. As of March 2023, the percentage of people living in poverty was at 9.36%, despite a decrease of 0.18% from March 2022 to September 2022, and 0.21% from September 2022 to March 2023, according to Badan Pusat Statistik Indonesia. At present, the Asian Development Bank reports a high unemployment rate of 3.5%. Indonesia faces a dire educational crisis due to poverty, impacting access, quality education, and increasing the dropout rates. Urgent action is needed to tackle this problem by recognizing the vital link between quality education and a better future for the nation. And that's the latest news from across Indonesia. I'm Angelina Mekatantri, Highfield News Center, signing off.
Thank you, Angelina. Moving on next to the contestant from Depok Center, Shaila Alicia Putri.
Good morning, Indonesia. It's Saturday, February 3rd, 2024, and this is the Highfield Update News. I'm Shaila Alicia, and today we'll bring you the latest news around the globe. Today's news will be covering up the recent topic about health issues, focusing on stunting. UNICEF has recently recorded that more than 149 million children across the globe is experiencing stunting, a condition that limits a child to grow normally, causing them to grow shorter than average. Indonesia's statistics has recorded that out of 149 million children, 6.3 million of them are from Indonesia, causing a huge problem towards the future generation. The current prevalence of stunting cases in Indonesia is still 21.3%, meanwhile the target is 14% by 2024. The head of Health Ministry of Indonesia states about early signs of stunting condition to warn out more citizens, including low birth weight with impaired cognitive and motor development and metabolic disorders in adulthood, such as diabetes or heart diseases. Lack of calories consumed and more following birth diseases has caused this case to continuously increase and is more relevant for children to catch this condition. Hence, the head of Health Ministry of Indonesia informs regarding better care towards pregnancy, toddlers, and teenage girls in order to prevent more prevalences of higher percentages of stunting cases in Indonesia. UNICEF is now aiming at a better healthcare regulations toward mothers or future mothers in order to prevent more prevalences of stunting cases towards children. In response to the high current stunting cases, the Vice President is invited to the press conference during the National Family Day, informing about the emergency status of high stunting cases in this country. The Vice President also believed that by holding this press conference, the Health of Ministry of Indonesia is able to take a good care better towards education and promotion that has been circulating a lot across Indonesia, since this has impacted a lot towards the standards of living here in this country. The Vice President also underlined that Indonesia has a really rich local food potentials when it comes to providing wholesome foods towards families. He therefore requested that the best use of this possibility be made, starting at the family level. The government will also try to help improve better healthcare and education towards this case to citizens, hoping that the target will soon to be accomplished. The government strongly refuses to bring higher cases of stunting possibilities in Indonesia. Assistant Deputy for Nutrition Security and Health Promotion, alongside the Head of Deputy for Coordination of Health Quality Improvement, is setting up a collaboration program called the Rapid Stunting Case Reduction that has recently reporting that this chance could possibly become a part of hope to turn down this huge case of stunting. The finance budget for this program has successfully collected about more than 23 trillion rupiah to help improve better living conditions for families with young children. We invited viewers to raise awareness and take an active role in efforts to overcome stunting in this society. And with that, we wrap up this recent news about health issues across Indonesia. Thank you for joining us today on Highfield Update News. Until next time, take care, stay informed, and have a fantastic day. This is Shaila Alicia signing out.
Thank you very much. Audience, please welcome contestant number 7, Francisca Aurelia Santoso from Cirebon Center.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Francisca Aurelia Santoso, reporting live from Highfield News Center, bringing you an up-to-date information from around the world. Today is February 3rd, 2024, and here's the headline for today. Global poverty is one of the most pressing problems that the world faces today. There are almost 700 million people in the world who are living in extreme poverty today. The top 3 countries with the highest poverty rate today are Equatorial Guinea with a 76.8% poverty rate, South Sudan with a 76.4% poverty rate, and Madagascar with a 70.7% poverty rate. Poverty in Equatorial Guinea is caused by the increase in the global commodity prices. The inflation rate in Guinea is very high, which reduces household food purchasing power, which can lead the people of Guinea to struggle to survive due to the lack of food. According to Trading Economics' global macro models and analyst expectations, the inflation rate in Guinea is expected to reach 4% by the end of 2023. The current population in South Sudan is 11 million in 2023. Women and children are the most affected by poverty. There are 2.2 million women and 4.9 million children in South Sudan struggling with extreme poverty. There are conflicts in South Sudan that decimate livelihood. The conflict has stopped production and destroyed human capital and state capital, which expects the economy to contract by 12% in 2023. Floods and conflicts is a big factor that causes poverty in South Sudan. In the last 4 years, Sudan has been experiencing terrible flooding, which has led to the destruction of land and the rise of hunger. Madagascar has been struggling with economic growth and poverty for decades. This is caused because of the weak economic growth and rapid population growth at the same time. Even though the economy slowed down from 5.7% in 2021 to 3.8% in 2022 because of the war in Ukraine and climate issues, it started to pick up again and is projected to stabilize at 4% in 2023 and then accelerate to about 4.7% in 2024. According to the International Monetary Fund, in Madagascar, spending on education, health, and social assistance is one of the lowest in the world. Unfortunately, this has led to the negative social outcomes such as poor education quality, malnutrition, low immunization coverage, and increased poverty over the past 10 years. Despite these challenges, the people of Madagascar employ various strategies to cope with the poverty they are experiencing. That is the latest news from around the world. Once again, this is Francisca Aurelia Santoso reporting live from Highfield News Center, signing out.
Dear audience, we still have another contestant from Newscasting Center. Please welcome Rasiboya Devushka Pandey.
Good morning. I'm Krasifaya from Highfield News, and today we turn our attention to an issue that has been affecting the very core of Indonesia's society and economy. Poverty has been a widespread issue in Indonesia as we know it. However, only recently, the country has made remarkable progress on poverty reduction. As we get into the statistics, let us discuss its history and the relationship between poverty and the economic landscape of Indonesia. Numerous citizens suffer in the face of poverty, facing daily challenges from limited access to education to insufficient health care and a lack of basic necessities. This issue peaked in the early 1980s and early 2000s, its rate surpassing 50%. Around that time, the rate of people under the poverty line was extremely alarming. Now, the impact of widespread poverty extends beyond personal struggles. It reverberates through the entire economy. With a significant portion of the population unable to meet their basic needs, consumer spending is constrained, hindering overall economic growth. As a result, Indonesia faces hurdles in achieving its economic potential. As I've stated earlier, however, the Indonesian government took action once they could. In response to these challenges, the government has implemented comprehensive initiatives aimed at breaking the chains of poverty. From targeted welfare programs to investments in education and infrastructure, these efforts seek to empower communities, fostering economic resilience and sustainable development. As it shows, the government's goal to eliminate extreme poverty by 2024 is basically met. Let us delve deeper into the transformative initiatives that have played a pivotal role in reshaping Indonesia's economic landscape. The comprehensive measures taken by the government not only focus on immediate relief, but also aimed at addressing the root causes of poverty. Investments in education have opened new doors to opportunities for the youth, breaking the cycle of generational poverty. Moreover, the targeted welfare programs have provided a safety net for vulnerable communities, ensuring that basic needs are met. Infrastructure development, another key aspect to the government's strategy, has not only created jobs, but has also improved accessibilities, connecting remote areas to economic opportunities. As we celebrate the significant strides made in poverty reduction, it's crucial to acknowledge the role of collaboration between government initiatives and grassroots movement. Local communities have been at the forefront, actively participating in their own development. Their resilience and determination have complemented government efforts, creating a synergy that contributes to sustainable progress. Looking ahead, sustaining these positive changes requires continued vigilance and adaptability. The government's commitment to the elimination of absolute poverty by 2024 is commendable, but ongoing efforts are essential to ensure that the gains are not reversed. This includes a focus on inclusive economic policies, ongoing investments in education, and a commitment to social welfare. In conclusion, as we reflect on Indonesia's journey from the peaks of alarming poverty rates to the cusp of achieving ambitious targets, it's evident that the battle against poverty is not just a momentary triumph, but an ongoing process. By understanding the multifaceted nature of poverty and implementing holistic solutions, Indonesia is paving the way for a future where every citizen can contribute to and benefit from the nation's progress. Thank you for joining us for this extended exploration into the impact of poverty on Indonesia's economic state. For more information on the initiative discussed or to learn how you can contribute, visit our website. I'm Krasifaya, and this is Highfield News. Together, let's work towards a future where poverty is no longer a barrier to Indonesia's progress. Thank you, and have a great one.
Thank you for the Dear participants and audience, it's really amazing to have Highfield students gathered here to perform their best. You'll find out the results after the judges calculate and decide on the winners. And the winners of each category will officially be announced this afternoon at 4 p.m. them at the hall to receive the trophy. And we invite the audience here to watch the stand-up comedy competition on the left side of this room and be the witness on our best stand-up comedy students. So thank you for your best performance.